Good morning. I am not Accent, as I'm sure you can tell. Accent's been doing 1-hour videos during this lockdown. This is lockdown day 12, and it looks like we're going to be extended for not much longer or even longer. So, the thing that I want to do today is I want to take time to explain some of the things that she's been doing. I want to explain what abdominal muscles are really all about. I want to explain why we do the push-ups we do and what each one basically entails. And I will do the same to an extent with some of your leg muscles. I'm not going to describe every muscle in detail because that wouldn't stick in your mind anyway. I simply want you to understand what goes on and why the body is the way it is. When I designed Perfect Balance Fitness International a number of years ago, the purpose was to bring health and fitness to the total man, total woman for life, not just for a few years of life to where you look sharp, look good, and everything else. No, but so that you would literally be able to be strong when you reach into your 70s, into your 80s, into your 90s, or beyond, and be capable of doing everything that the human body was designed to do. Now, we have a slogan: believe, achieve, and succeed. Nothing is out of reach. We have a sign that we have on the wall that says exactly that: believe, achieve, succeed. Nothing is out of reach. Your success begins here. Why do I have this? Why is this existing? Why did I even bother to do that? Because you have got to see yourself accomplishing it. And you've got to believe that the strength is there, that there is a God that is capable of helping you to become what you need to become. If you cannot do that and never see yourself accomplishing your goal, you'll never accomplish it. If you can see yourself doing it, and you can believe, I can, I will, I can do it, then you'll accomplish something. I do not believe in allowing anyone to do things halfway. When they only do things halfway, then they don't accomplish what the muscles are designed to do. So to start with, I'm going to talk about your arms, your shoulders, and we're going to begin with that. We'll start with the shoulders. Now, most gyms basically do nothing but tailoring your big muscles. So they don't even hardly ever do push-ups. Push-ups are one of the most vital things for your entire body. We do calisthenic fitness. Calisthenic fitness is gymnastic type individual things that build every muscle in your body to the strength. And you start at one point and you extend and move on to other things. What you're seeing here is level 1, basically. And we're going to talk about that, but I want to go beyond that. If you look over this way, you'll notice that we have hula hoops on the walls. These hoops are built in such a way, these are ones that are knockoffs from America, made in China, and they're weighted hoops. These hoops, basically, we use with beginners. Then we go beyond, and we have this hoop here, which you have to accomplish and be able to do at level 1 to move to level 2. They are designed in such a way that they're lopsided, they're heavy weighted, and you have to have total control in your abdominal muscles. Now, the human body is divided into 3 planes. You're divided right here, top and bottom. You're divided this way, right side, left side. And you are divided this way, front and back, down through your arms and down through your body. It all revolves around one point in the middle of your back, right here. And that is where most people have the most difficulty. Oh, my back hurts, my back hurts, my back hurts. We build your back muscles as we build your abdominal muscles. Your abs are not what people think they are. They call the abs because of the outer abdominal muscles, which give the definition between a 2-pack, a 4-pack, a 6-pack, etc., because there are lines where those muscles cross. You have deep inside abdominal muscles. You have muscles that basically are designed for the purpose of giving you a strong core. Now, in our body, we have the obliques, which are your side muscles. We have the internal obliques, we have the external obliques, and we have the internal abdominal muscles as well. Now, at this point, there's also a muscle which comes under your rib cage, wraps around from your back, that is also involved when you're doing all of the different crunches and all of the different sit-ups and everything that build what we call abs. I, for one, know the fact that not every individual is going to show definition. And when you begin to put on more and more muscle, stronger and deeper muscle, the muscles themselves being crisscrossed and overlapped, those begin to disappear and you get a one black block type muscle. And that's exactly what transpires. And I can lift my shirt and show you mine, but forget it, because I know they're not there the way they used to be. But it used to be one solid block with the lines here and the lines here. And you've got here and here, and you've got your upper abs that are here. Upper abs, middle abs, and lower abs. I can take my pants down, but I won't do that either, which would show you exactly where the lines are and how they go down. So, what do we have? We have the muscles which are designed to help you to function in every way. And so that you can all the time accomplish the tasks that you do in life. If you're a young mother and you're carrying around a child, you're carrying that child on your hip, and if you're not careful carrying the child on the same hip all the time, you will begin to have structure that is damaging to you instead of good. But if you have strong core beat into the center, that takes care of itself. Now, when we go to the shoulders, this is one exercise everybody hates. Shoulder rotations. Now, you can do this. Oh, people say, oh, that's easy. I can do that. I can do that. Yeah, you can, because what are you doing? You're not isolated. Everything has to be isometric. You isolate every single muscle in your arms so that you see the cuts, you see the end, you see it going from the shoulder all the way down the arm. Now, when you're doing this with your shoulders and you're rotating your shoulders, we simply are raising our shoulders on a slow rotation. And as we do that, what do we get? We get to the point where our body then is totally hurting. And the longer you do it, and we count to 40, as we rotate, people being, It shouldn't, because what you're doing is you're building every muscle in your shoulder, in your back, and you are doing isometrics with all of your arms all the way to the wrist, so that the triceps is involved, the biceps are involved, the forearms are involved, your wrists are involved, and you do that. And then we go one way, and then we rotate the other way. Now, we start this way, and everybody starts going, and especially when they get up here and they start to rotate this way, and then rotate the opposite direction, they want to grab and start pulling. Don't. Because that is not what we're trying to accomplish. That you do in this exercise and pull the opposite way. Right now, you're trying to concentrate on the isometric structure within. Isometrics basically will build your body faster than you can believe. Now, when you move to level 3, and I'm going to have to ask Axel to go over here and grab me 2 weights. When you move to that section, you basically, then you start putting weights in your hands. Well, if you can't do it, no, the other weights.
Smaller?
Yeah, the small ones. When you start putting weights in your hands, if you don't have the strength to hold your arms up there, there's no way you can do it with the weights. And so then we begin to rotate with the weights. We'll rotate this way, and we've got 40 rotations that way, then you reverse the rotations. And as you do that, you will notice that the structure in the back actually is more intense, because you're putting the weight and the pressure on all of the muscles of your arms all the way to the shoulder shrug. And that becomes that way. And then when you go up, it's the same thing. And the structure is basically in your shoulders. You see on the sides, you see the cuts, you see the pressure, and you go in such. Now, actually, would you give me the other weights that we progress to? Yes, that we progress to. So, instead of using these, as you go up even further, you get rid of these, and you have weights like this. And then you're continuing. that same kind of a structure. Now, if you haven't done it with weight, you can never do it. If you haven't done it without, when you get weights in your hands, you want to quit and say, oh, impossible, I can't do this, I can't do this. But if you start and build the muscles first, and then move into a higher and higher level, you have no problem. Now, we put these down, at some point, we come down, and we set the weights down, go right back up and grab our hands. Now what this does is this reverses the direction of pull on the muscles, so that now the triceps are doing a different thing. Triceps mainly straighten your arms. Biceps bend. So now the pressure moves from your shoulders into your triceps, but it's still pulling the shoulder muscles, and I can tell you each one, but I'm not going to go into that. So what are we doing? We're pulling the forearm muscles. And as we do that. Once we pull it, we drop it behind our head. We pull our elbows back. When we pull our elbows back, what do? The pressure moves from the shoulders into your elbows, and your elbows receive a great deal of pressure. The triceps are attached at your elbows. And so when we do push-ups, when we do shoulder rotations and shoulder structures, we're putting a great deal of pressure on the elbow joint and the muscles there as they're attached. Then you come over into front and you put it on your forehead. And now we're pulling, and you will notice again the extension in each one of your muscles. Then you come down as you begin to move it down. It changes the pressure in your biceps to the side head. You've got a long head, a short head, and so everything then is getting greater structure. When you come down, it goes back into the connection. At that point, the forearms then are greater structure involved, and then we go all the way down to the floor. And as you extend your arms, you will feel the pressure move in your arms, down to your forearms, through your wrists, up into this portion of your shoulder to a greater extent. When we hit the floor, we grab behind one leg and we pull. Now, the pulling again goes back to the isometrics, and we do it to do that. And at the same time, you've got pressure on your back, pressure on your shoulders. Then you go to the other leg, and you do the same thing. And then you go from there to both legs, and then you put the pressure of your legs on your arms. So now you're forcing your arms against your legs against your arms, your buttocks is involved, your hips are involved, your back is involved, and the pressure is there. Now, we go from there, grab your ankles, straighten your legs, and pull up. Now we have isometric strength going on with your own body, all the way from your ankles, up through your legs, up through the backs of your legs, through the sides of your legs, through your hips, through your back, up your back, into your shoulders, down your arms, all the way back to your fingers. Then we grab the weights. If you don't have weights, you're going up this way. If you have the small weights, we're doing the same thing. But you grab the weights as you're going up the structure, and you go up sideways. And you lift your arms. And as you get up, you take them all the way over the top, put the backs of your hands together. Now the reason we do the backs is because this puts the twist into your arms, sculptures your arms, sculptures your shoulders, because it causes the muscles to have to go to their full extent of rotation, and so your joints are rotated. And then we come down in front, we get to our shoulders, and we go out. When you get out to the outside, we turn it down. Now we bring it back around. Now the pressure has gone to our elbows to a great extent because of the weight that is hanging there, and the forearms are involved, and we go up. And we go up very slowly. As we get up higher, we get to a point, and then we hold it. We usually hold it for about 20 seconds. I'm not going to do that now. And then we release and take them down. Now, you have worked in your shoulders and in your arms, isometrics, that now begin to show what is there. You notice the different heads in the triceps. Triceps, there's two major muscles. The one you see here, the one you see here. Long head, short head. They both attach at the elbow. Everything is attached right there. Internal that you don't see, the same thing, smaller muscle, but they attach at the elbow. The shoulder, you notice the serrations. You've got all these different areas in the shoulder. And those are built as we do push-ups, as we do all kinds of other aspects. In the gym, basically they just concentrate on different muscles. They concentrate mainly on the bicep. We want to build it. Bicep is only 2. Tricep is 3. 1, 2, and there's 3 on the inside, the back side. You don't see when I'm doing it this way. But then the bicep, there's 2 major muscles, and there's 2 underlying muscles that go all the way to the wrist. So, you can either concentrate on building the showy muscles, or concentrate on building the internal muscles, which give you the overall strength. In the forearm, you have 20 different muscles that are in there. And each one of those muscles is designed for flexing, rotation, connected at the wrist to do the things that are necessary in your body. So, we do what's called wrist, hands, fists, and fingers. Now, what's this do, folks? Hey, folks, it does everything. Now look, here's the rotation. Here's the looseness. I've got to be able to loosen up my body all the way to my shoulders, wrist, hands, fists, and fingers. Basically, that's where it is. Now, so then I take my hands, I move them out, my elbows straight out, and now I've got isometric pressure that I put on my fingertips. Now, at this point, I am involving a great deal of strength, not simply in the fingers, but in the wrists, in the elbows, in the triceps. The biceps are involved to a short extent, but not a lot. It's the back isometric pressure that's going in. Normally, we think of the tricep as doing nothing but straightening, but that's not all that it does. And so you've got great pressure here. Then we move that pressure with the force in. The reason I've got my elbows completely out is to make sure that the force stays straight. We go to the thumbs and we put our total pressure that we can force onto our thumbs. And we do that and we'll count to 10. Then we'll do the index fingers and do the same thing. Then we'll do the middle fingers and the same pressure. And each time you change fingers, you will see and feel a different pressure in a different place in your forearm. Because each one is attached differently to different muscles. Then you go to your ring fingers. And again, you'll feel it move as it moves in your forearm. Then we go to the little fingers, and it does the same thing. Now, this is to give the force pressure that is involved. But in gymnastics and in all bar activity, you need the grip. So you go the opposite way. So now we hook the little fingers and we pull, and you'll feel it differently again in a different place. Now, you begin to feel it on the backside here of your elbows, where before you're feeling it in the front on your forearms. Then we go to the ring finger, we do the same thing. And you feel it move, and then you feel it move, and then you feel it move, and then you feel it move. Because it moves different interior muscles. I don't believe in developing only the muscles that you can see. The internal muscles are every bit as vital and as important. Then we go to the fist. And as you push in with the fist, now we come to your upper chest, and we come to the structure across the front of your shoulder that you begin to feel as you press in. Once we do that, we begin to move up. We bring the bases of our hands together. We bring our elbows together. We squeeze our elbows. Now you feel real pressure across your shoulders. Then you go up as high as you can. Try to hold it together as long as you can, then separate and come back together. Now this again, as you begin to open up, you feel a different movement in the muscles in your arms, in your forearms as you go down. Then we come up over the top, and we come down. Our elbows go up as high as you can. Now the pressure is here and here. Okay? And then we move out. As we move out, the pressure goes into our forearms, goes into our triceps. As we straighten it and put our hands back to back, and as we raise, again, we are moving the motion and stretching the muscles in our upper arms and shoulders. Then we come down to the bottom, and as we do, straighten them. You feel a great pull now into the one hand of the triceps. Now, we go back up to the top, same thing, slowly, but all the way to the top, and all the way back down. When we come back down, now we want to twist and go to the extent as far as we can to move our wrists and move our arms. Now we're putting the cuts on our arms all the way up. We'll clear up and over and hold that position. And at that point, you will feel in your elbows where the muscles attach. At that point, a real stretch. Then you come back down. Now, as we do, shoulders become more involved again. Your forearms become greater involved. And we go all the way back up to the top. We reach the top. We're there with the pressure on our forearms and on our triceps because our arms are straight and locked out. Come back down one more time. Again, you feel it in your rotator cuff, in your upper body, where the shoulders attach. When we get down to the bottom, you've got that. We've got to make sure that we keep everything together, because if you don't, you're not stretching the muscles. You've got to have that rotation and have that at that point. Then all the way back up to the top. Then we come down in front. When we get to our base, we turn our hands over, we cup our fingers, and we turn it the other way. Now we're putting stretch and stress basically on different muscles in our forearm that we want to feel. We go clear to the top, and we bend backwards as far as you can flex without losing your balance. Pulling your arms back behind your head, holding it, we count to 20, and then we come back to that point, and all the way down. Now, when we get to the bottom, you want your fingers to turn white. You want so much pressure forced through your arms isometrically to your fingers that your fingers are stretched as far back as they can go. So at that point, it's there. Then, again, we're at 20. We go all the way back up to the top. And then we bring them down, and we shake them loose. Now you loosen your arms again, so that you're all loose, so you feel. You've done the stretches. You've stretched those muscles to the point where they are now hot, not just warm, they're hot. They're ready to do what you need to do. Now, like I say, your arms are basically 20 muscles here. You've got your tricep, which are 3 major muscles attached at the elbow. You've got the bicep, which, by the way, even though it says bicep, it's the 2 big ones that people concentrate on. But in reality, you've got 2 other underlying muscles you never see, which go all the way to your wrists. And that's all part of the control. So that when you're doing wrist curls, you're actually still working the bicep. And when you straighten your arms, you're working the tricep. I do not believe in doing halfway things, because you don't involve the long, elongated muscles that need to be strong. So, then we do push-ups. And what do push-ups do? Each push-up basically works a different part of your body. It works the wrists, the hands, the fingers all the time. It works the forearm all the time. But the tricep is involved in different ways, the bicep is involved in different ways, your shoulders are involved in different ways, and your chest is involved, depending on the position of the hand. So, when we do push-ups, we do numerous push-ups, and you've seen Axa do the normal push-ups that we literally do almost everything. You've got the regular push-up. Now, the regular push-up, when it has to be locked out, And if you do push-ups like this, folks, you never accomplish anything because you don't go down to the full flexation, you don't go back up to the straight out. So people that are doing push-ups like this and doing it rapidly, all they're doing is getting a shoulder jerk. They're not getting the muscles involved in the way they're to be involved. So regular, your hands are basically straight below your shoulders to the great extent. I don't want them out here. If you're out here, you're already going to a wide reach. I want them straight below. And this then, when you go down to the floor. Now, at this point, if you do this correctly, you'll feel a great stress on your elbows. And you can hold it down there. You can count to 10 or whatever, and come back up. We do them slow, we do them fast. We do each one a number of times. Now, in the military push-ups, your arms are, this is where your hands are supposed to be, and you're supposed to go down and count to 3. 1, 2, 3. All the way up. 1, 2, 3. All the way up. 1, 2, 3. All the way up. Now we do 10, 12, 15, 20. Depends on what we're doing. Now, a wide push-up, and each time you do it, you'll feel a different spot in your arms. I'm not going to explain each one. Wide push-up, one hand, two hand. One hand, two hand. You've got to be at least that far apart. Now, it's difficult to do it this way and keep a twist, so you can move your hands slightly like this and go down. Same thing. We'll take your body all the way down. All the way back up. Lock it out. If you don't lock it out, forearms don't get the right pressure. Your triceps aren't involved. This one should involve your triceps to a great extent. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, you will feel it here. You'll feel it a great deal in your elbow if you lock it out right. And you will feel it in the muscles that attach to the back side of your forearm because it's there. Now, the next one that we do is the reach. Now, the reach takes a lot and brings it back up to your shoulders. Also puts a great deal of pressure on your elbows. So when you do the reach push-up, you want to be at least this far in front of your head. You want to go down, up, down, down, up. This is almost entirely forearm. It's almost entirely a forearm push-up. It's here. You'll feel it in the tricep. When you lock it out, you'll feel it in your elbows. If your elbows don't get enough strength, basically, you're going to have problems. Then your elbows will be in pain the full time. Then you go from reach to fingertip. Now, here was regular. Here was wide. Here's fingertip. Halfway in between. The reason I go halfway in between is it allows you to go clear to the floor on fingertip push-ups. Now this is why we work so hard to build our fingertip strength, because that strength carries up through the finger flexation, so the wrist flexation, all the way up into the bicep and connections at the elbow. The elbows, if they're not strong, basically they take the major stress because of the connection. So then here you are in fingertip, and it can take you all the way to the floor. Now make sure you lock out when you go up. Otherwise, you're not putting pressure onto the triceps. They got to lock out. All right. Then we go to the triangle. The triangle basically is the one that probably puts the greatest stress onto your elbows because you're going into your body like this. Your body is bent in a weird way. You'll feel the stretch back on this part of the inside of your forearm where the connections are. So you put the triangle at your head, not up here, right here, because you want to go out this way, and you go down. 1, 2. Now, if you're doing it right, this is where you feel the pressure, right here. So what are we doing? We're working all the way around. Eventually, you say, okay, I'd rather just build the big muscles. Fine, but you won't have the lasting strength to do it. You won't have the ability to be able to go up and down the ropes. The ropes are designed, these are things that are designed to get you to the next wave. You won't have the ability to go and handle a punching bag. Because the punching bag is it's a throw. It's tremendous jar onto your elbows. The rope weight that you've seen Axel do with a heavy rope, which is a much heavier rope than the one that is used in the class and the one that is used in almost every gym. But that takes tremendous strength in that portion of your arm. Then the last one that we do is close. And the close push-up is like this. You put your hands directly under your bust line if you're a lady, under your chest muscles, your center portion of it, okay, which is the pec deck. In other words, we call this the pec, and that's where you do it. And you go down. You want to keep your elbows in. This opens up and widens your shoulders, believe it or not, and also puts a great but a lot of pressure onto your chest. So the transfer goes there. So we lie down in order to get you to position it right. Have you bring your hands directly under your bust line or your center part of your chest muscles. Push your body up in that position. Pick your body up and then go down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. As long as you do it, and do it correctly, you will feel everything that needs to function. Push-ups basically build the strength that you have to go out into the fitness park and work on the bars. If you don't have the strength in your forearms, your triceps, your biceps, the connections in your wrist and your hands, you don't have the grips in your fingers, you don't have the pressure in your fingers, you'll never be able to do the things that you need to accomplish. The rope will stand idle if you say, I can't do that. But as you build that strength, there's nothing you can't do. The next thing I want to talk about, basically, is the abdominal muscles and what they're all about. We've got on the obliques, the muscles that are here, structured on the side. We do a lot to tailor our obliques. We do a lot about the core. Like I say, the core, that's where you're divided. That's where everything is. This is where your major strength comes from. If you don't have the major strength on your back and on your front, you'll never accomplish the things you need to accomplish. If you don't have equal strength, bicep, tricep, you're going to fail. Tricep, basically, believe it or not, when it comes to this kind of stuff, when it comes to gymnastics, is more important than the bicep. The bicep is just a show. The tricep is your overall strength, and your forearm is where it comes together. And if you'll notice the cut right here, if you don't build that cut, you're not building the connections in your elbows, and your forearm can't do what the forearm is designed to do. My forearms and my arms are nowhere near what they were when I was young, but the strength is still there. I don't do a lot of heavy weights today. I do a tailoring of what we have. So, what do we do to build the core? How do we build the core? Well, there's two basic areas that are visible that you see, and they're both called, you call them the abs. Well, that's ridiculous because they're all abdominal muscles all the way internal. You've got the muscles that are in there. You've got crossing in the very center. You've got these two huge muscle structures that are like this, that are underneath the core, that come all the way up from the rib cage, all the way down to your pelvic bone. They go all the way down. And that's why I say without showing nudity, I'm not going to show you how that functions. But they go all the way down. At this point, you've got connectors that are there. And they are connected into the bone structure all the way up. On the top, you've got muscle that actually wraps around from the back, from your back, and connects into your rib cage. They are involved in all that we do in a way of developing your core muscles as well. So, we've got the three major areas. We've got the oblique muscles, and we've got what we call the abdominal muscles. Don't just look at abdominal muscles as being, oh man, that person doesn't have abs. I'll tell you something. I've got abs that you don't really see. Actually has abs that you're not going to see, but somebody could jump on her stomach and she'd be able to handle it with no problem whatsoever. I may have her come over here and jump on my stomach in a little while just to show you the fact that the muscles that are internal are very important to us. So, we do what? We do crunches. Crunches are your upper abs. They're this portion up here, right underneath. And as you do crunches, you can do crunches fast, or you can do crunches slow and pull your body up and send your body back down slowly. Now, you'll see most people having somebody hold their feet because they don't think they can hold it. They don't think they can go down. Don't think they can come up. But the stronger, see, even if my feet come up in here, I can still come up. Come all the way up. So you've got that. You've got sit-ups, which basically a lot of people today are calling these sit-ups and these crunches. They are doing. But sit-ups are supposed to be with your legs straight. That's the way they were designed. That's the way they were on major presidential fitness tests in America and the Canadian Air Force fitness test and other fitness tests as well, is that you did it with your legs straight. And you bring your body straight up and straight through. Now, when I was in high school, our champion wrestler, he did through a total of over 15,000 sit-ups non-stop. Why? Because his core structure had been built to the point to wrestle from all the different exercises that we had to do at that time. Now, those are those. The lower abs are built in two ways. They're built from leg lifts. And you see Axel doing it every day, and you've seen Axel do it for over an hour if you watch the hour-long video. And she can do it with upper body weights. Okay, why do we add the upper body weights? Because the upper body weights extensify not just simply the lower abs, but the middle abs and the upper abs. Now, this is only called one particular ab internally, but it isn't. It's two. There's two different sections. That's why you've got the divisions. And basically, the stronger your abs become, the greater the block and the less you see of visible external abs. If you build strength and build more muscle over anything, it changes what you're seeing. You always, by doing elongation in your arms and in your legs, have the extensions and have the cuts that you want to see, the things that people are really admire about a body. I don't know why people love vascular bodies. That doesn't mean anything to me. I've always been vascular because my veins are close to the surface. But it's important that we understand what this does. If I put my hands up here, I'm doing like this. I've got weight here at the point that I'm pulling, even my upper abs, not just my lower abs. I'm tailoring my lower abs, but I'm pulling and isometrically stopping my abs all the way. Plus, the femur, the areas in my hips, the areas in my legs
are all affected and being built during it. So total body exercises, as we design, are designed to work your entire body. So there's that. Then the obliques, we do a number of different things. When you're doing this, you're coming across, got your leg in here, you're twisting your back muscle, you're coming across, the obliques are tremendously involved, and so are your lower back muscles. We want to build your lower back as strong as we want to build your visible core that everybody admires, which is silly, because if you don't have that strength back there, you can destroy your back. Why have something that looks good in the front and in the back you've got nothing? Okay? So, hourglass crunches. Hourglass crunches. You see Axel doing these all the time. She goes in. What are we doing? We're stretching the back muscle here. We're going the other way. We're stretching the back muscle here. We're crunching it up here. We're coming back to the same. So you're doing the crunch and the stretching on the opposite side on the back. And we do that both ways. Then, when you lift up your legs and you're bringing them across and doing this, what are we doing? We're crunching here, 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 all the way up through the body. Your legs are getting a great workout, your hips are getting a great workout, and you can do it time and time again. I can sit here and do it all day. Why? Because I've done it. You can do it. Everything that is designed is to make you strong. When people look at actually doing these things and say, I tried it, but your stuff is too hard, I go, no, it's not. If it wasn't for lockdown, folks, right now I could take entire level 1 class and show them doing all of the activity that Axel does for you on the video. That's not Axel's action. She's got the ropes, she's got the rope weight, she's got hundreds and hundreds of push-ups that she does. She's got all different kinds of tailors with her legs. She's got leg stretches that basically develop in her more and more strength and a greater beauty that you see in my assistant. Now, the other things that build them are what we call reverse crunches. And reverse crunches, you see people doing like this. They're lying down, they're going like this. They're just doing reverse like this. All that's doing is just this one area. Now, when we do reverse crunches, we do them up, up, up. Your body is held into a V. I'm going to do them there in just a second and show you what I mean. But when we do V-ups, the V-ups are designed for what? They're designed to pull your body together. The center part of the upper abs is the most involved. Now I can take a show you with pressure. So if it comes up, you come up, and you hold it. And you come up and you hold it. And as you do, you're working it. Now, as you progress and go further, you take what you've learned in those positions, and all the pelvic raise, which I'll do in a second, basically does the same thing. But these weights are a little light for me, and I'll show you. This is what you get into. You take the weights, you sit on the edge of this board, or a low step-up platform, throw your arms up, bring your body down to where your butt is off of it. You lift your legs, and you lower your arms. Now, this again goes back to your wrists, hands, fists, fingers, shoulder rotations, everything that we do with our arms. But it also pulls and stretches the lower abs like crazy to where your abs are burning. And when you hold it like this, your upper abs, these abs right here, the ones that are under your rib cage, are engaged to such an extent that that pull is developing them isometrically, and you hold it, and you can hold it for a minute, 2 minutes. Sometimes I do it for 5 minutes. But then you do the V-ups like this with the weights. This engages all of your abdominal muscles. And you do 50 of these. Now, if you hadn't learned to do the things without the weights, when you get to the weights, this is impossible. You can't do it. But if you have been doing it correctly, it's not that hard. Now, when we finish with leg lifts, you see AXA pounding. You see our students pounding. When they first start pounding, it's like they don't even want to pick up their legs. No, your legs got to be in the air. So get them up. Oh, and they'll quit. I go, no. You got to do it a long time. So then they'll get up and they'll start pounding. 30, 40, 50, 60, whatever, 100, 200 with accent. And why do I do it? Because that engages the internal muscle structure that goes clear to the spine and lets you understand what it means to have abdominal muscles. Now, accent, put the camera down. Come stand on my stomach. You say, what? If we had class right now, I'd have 4 guys standing on my stomach. Just to show you. Now, I'm afraid to let her jump because she might jump in the wrong place. But she can jump on my abs. Go ahead. Higher. Higher. All right. Now, stay there. I could sit here and do leg lifts for 7 or 8 minutes more and let you see the difference between what you call abs and what true abs really are. When I was in school, kids could walk down the hallway, try and get my attention, and punch me in the stomach. And I said, what was that? Why? Because I had concentrated on building my abdominal muscles to such a point that you couldn't hurt them. Off. Now, if I hear anybody tell me that AXA doesn't have abs, I will say, yes, she does. She has abdominal muscles that you don't see. She has strength in her core that you'll never have, unless you do the things that I teach you. Then you will have abs, and you can say, hey, no matter what I look like, I've got abs, fellow. I've got abs. She's got abs. And believe me, her abs are solid block muscle internally clear to her spine. That's what abdominal muscles are all about. Now, I want to go from there to, oh, I didn't do the last one. The other ones that basically work our abdominal muscles are these. You do the pelvic raise. Again, your structure in your hips, your structure in your legs, and everything else. We do one where your leg is straight up, and you're going it 10 times, and then you go out, clear the floor. Now, when I do this, at that point, I've got to have some balance, and I've got to have some strength in my core to keep my body from going down. And then I come back up, then I go back down, and I hold it there. Then I come this way. And if I don't have strength in that, this exercise can't exist. If I've got strength, I don't even have to balance with my hands. I can move them there. And go down and come close to the floor and back up. Those build your core. You've got to have a strong core. You'll notice a lot of the things that we do are building around your core. One of the things that bothers me, being an old man, one of the things that bothers me being an old man is everybody is concentrating on this. I want a Brazilian butt. I want a big butt. And I go, no, you don't. No, you don't. You want to see her abs? Want me to stand on hers? No? Okay. But anyway, what happens? What do you have? Brazilian butt. I can build your butt, sure. I've got certain things that you can do to build your butt. I want your legs cleared. I want you to have strong, muscular legs. I want to see the cuts. I want to see what's there. I want you to see the cut in the back of your legs. I want those things to be there because that's where the strength is. So we do a lot of toe raises. We do a lot of slow and stop squats. where you're on your toes. We do, which we had a challenge a month ago, where you go down into the squat, and you go all the way down, and you get down to the bottom, and you bounce 20 times. Now, this builds this portion. This builds this portion, builds your hips. And as you're bouncing and doing that, you've got the concentration on your hip structure and on your legs. Now, you'll notice that I'm doing it on my toes. You can do it flat-footed, or you can do it on your toes. But when you do it on your toes, you are taking every portion of your legs, your knee joint, your calves, your triceps, your thigh muscles, and the sides, and your hips and everything above. And you come up. And if you do that for a long period of time, basically you will build such strength in your legs, and your buttocks will be hard as a rock. A beautiful body is one that is hard-bodied, not one that has huge balls on the sides of the hips and huge balls in the butt that sticks out. Come on, folks. That's not what is necessary. That's not what helps you have strength. That doesn't give you lasting ability. That gives you sex appeal, gals, maybe sex appeal for some guys, but I got news for you. That's not what it's all about. Not what it's all about. So, how much time do we have left?
10 minutes.
10 minutes? You want to get on my stomach again? Okay. Oh, you want to do it? Okay. Come on. Come on. This is Axel, your trainer, who is one super girl. She's got muscles and ability that bypass everybody else. Now, want me to stand on you? Okay. She wants me to stand on you. Gotta remember, she's little. Now, I can jump on her, but I won't. I don't want to hurt her. But she's capable of doing anything. She's capable of doing like this for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, forever. She can do it all day long. She's got strength that doesn't quit. I can build in you the same strength that's in her, so that you can do this for long periods of time. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I can stand here for the rest of this and do it, but I don't want to do that. I want you to be able to understand why we do the things we do. She is one super trainer. I've never worked with anybody in my life that is a better trainer. I appreciate Axel. I appreciate all she's done and all she does for you. She's here for you. And you've got to understand that what she is giving you is not something that's too hard for you. It's something that she's capable of doing in a way that nobody else at this point in time can do. She's probably, to me, the best trainer, the best I've ever worked with. And I want to see you become known throughout. Please, take this video, take the videos that she's watched, share them with your friends, share them with your family, try and do them. I guarantee you, if you try to do them, you can do them, and you can do them right. And as you do, then you too will understand what it means to have every muscle in your body. And one of these days, I'll go over the actual muscles in each area of your body. Wrist, hands, fists and fingers, ankles, feet, the whole bit, so that you understand why we do each and every one. People ask me at different times, well, why do you do this? Why do you do this? Why do you do this? Well, what's that do for me? What's that accomplish? It's not accomplishing what you think it's accomplishing. It's accomplishing things that are far greater. They're long-term, they're lasting, they're beautiful. And that's what happens. When you become one with your body then will respond to care for you and take care of you throughout life. Your immune system gets built up the more you do for him. The other aspect is what I've said before. 70% is what you can see and believe and what you put into your body. The type of things you eat. And Axel understands nutrition.
and she's understood most of the things that she now is able to cook and provide and prepare for you. And on her site, you'll see all that. It's there. And all you got to do is go and ask her, well, what should I do? How should I eat? What should I give up? What should I put away? When we put away the things that damage our bodies and don't give us anything of benefit, and change and put the things into our bodies that benefit us, then we become what we need to become. Thank you for your time with us. No, got more?
The leg lifts was not down.
What?
The video camera was not down.
Was not down when I was standing on you? Okay, put
Sorry.
it down and come back over here. Get it from the side.
If from the
Would it
side.
be easier?
It will be alright,
Okay.
I guess.
I'm sorry. Actually said you couldn't see her. Well, I want you to see her, so that means I gotta stand over her for what, another 5 minutes?
No.
Watch out.
Ouch. Yeah.
All right. I did all that talking, and you didn't see. Well, see this lovely girl? I wasn't standing on the floor, I was standing on her. So, we're gonna do it again. Her upper abs. Her lower abs. Ha! Maybe I'll stand on her, maybe I won't, maybe I'll fall off here all of a sudden. Okay, upper abs.
You have to roll it down.
Lower abs. There. Now, again, let me say, I'm not going to stay on it forever now because I lost my balance for some reason. Perfect Balance Fitness International, I lost my balance, I'm in trouble. Okay, she can do leg lifts apart, together, up to 12, down to 6, up to 12.
You're on my ribs.
Up to 12, down to 6, apart at 6, together at 6. I'm going to get off, pound 200 times. Now, if you think that's easy, come. If you think it's hard, you're right. But to develop that is not all that hard if you do everything that we give you correctly. If you do things right, you'll end up with the results that are in your training. Actually, GURUNG. We'll see you again in our next video when AXA again trains.
Okay.
Bye.